Burnout can make the right dream feel wrong. Your exhaustion isn't necessarily telling you to abandon the dream, bro. It may be telling you that the way you've been carrying it is no longer sustainable, because most people define discipline as continuing to work no matter how depleted they feel. But sometimes the most disciplined thing you can do is stop. Rest isn't the opposite of commitment. I know it's counterintuitive to what we've been taught, but sometimes rest is how you protect your commitment. Never make a permanent decision about your dream from a temporary state of exhaustion. And I'm telling you from experience, bro. With that being said, if you're an entrepreneur who has been pushing so hard for so long that the dream you once prayed for is starting to feel like a burden, starting to feel like a nightmare, watch this before you decide to walk away. Because every time I've wanted to quit what I loved doing, I thought it meant I had lost my purpose or that the dream wasn't for me, but the truth was so much simpler. I was burnt out. Burnout will make you stop caring. It will turn you hope into hopelessness and make a temporary exhausted state feel like a permanent truth about who you are. So I'm not telling you to force it or grind harder. Complete opposite. I'm going to tell you to step back, reset, and fucking take care of yourself, because sometimes the rest isn't how you abandon the dream. It's how you actually save it. Here's the thing. Burnout changes the story you tell yourself, because burnout isn't only being physically tired. It changes how you interpret your entire life. Think about it this way, bro. You're exhausted, you're tired, you're fatigued, and you're trying to build something off that energy, off that state. It's gonna naturally affect whatever it is you're doing, whether you're in a relationship, hanging out with your friends. Like when your energy is so low because you're driving on E, it naturally causes you to be more negative about what you're trying to do. And it puts you in a state of survival mode, and it affects everything that you do. When you get yourself to that point, you think negative, you believe the dream ain't for you, you believe it's not meant for you, you start to find all the reasons why what you're doing is wrong. You start to create stories as to why this is not meant for you, man. And everything starts feeling further away and more impossible than it really is. You begin telling yourself, maybe I don't want this anymore. Maybe I've wasted my time. Maybe I'm not capable of making this work. Maybe this dream was never meant for me. See, the exhaustion is real, but those conclusions you're drawing from it may not be true. Because again, you're in a tired state. You can't think straight, so to speak, because that fatigue is affecting your mind. The lack of energy is affecting your mind. It's affecting how you perceive everything. It puts you in a negative survival state, bro. Right? Exhaustion is a terrible narrator. Don't let it write the ending of your story. I've let it write the ending of my story before, and I realized later that I was just tired. I was just burnt out, and I didn't even know it. Because when you're not motivated to do anything, or again, the stuff that you love, it feels heavy. It feels like a burden. It feels like a nightmare. That's how you know, hey, I'm burnt out, and you got to take a step back, bro. That's when self-care is everything. Because if you make a decision to give up on your dream in that moment, it's the worst mistake you can do, because you're not even in your best state, right? Your body needs rest. Your mind needs rest. How are you, are you going to sign yourself off when you're feeling like shit? That's the worst time to make a decision to stop. I'll share this. Every time I seriously considered wanting to quit content creation, entrepreneurship, or the work that I love, I was burnt out every single time. And my girlfriend would point out this pattern, and I would be like, fuck, she's right. And this is the thing, in those moments, I couldn't tell, but now I know the patterns, right? I didn't feel excited anymore. I didn't feel inspired anymore. I didn't feel that connection to my purpose. I stopped caring about the things that normally matter so deeply to me, because I couldn't feel that passion, right? And I interpreted that, because I was in that state, I interpreted that as proof that the passion was gone, that this shit wasn't for me anymore. And I would become discouraged and start believing the dream wasn't for me, right? I'd taken the wrong path. Maybe I didn't have what it took. All of these things every single time I hit burnout. Same shit, same thoughts, same beliefs, same stories. But when I finally would give myself, that's irony, when I would finally give myself permission to rest and stop forcing it, and I would actually take care of myself, right? Slow down a little bit. My desire eventually returned. Once you give yourself a break, it returns. If it's really meant for you, feeling always comes back. The passion, the drive, the hunger comes back naturally, bro. You're not going to lose it. Once you have it, you can't lose it. You'll find it again, right? If it's really for you. And that's the thing. It taught me something really important going through these cycles of burnout in the past. I didn't want to quit my dream. I wanted relief from the way I was feeling. And I thought quitting the dream was that relief, but it wasn't. I just needed to chill the fuck out. I just needed to rest, right? Put the phone away, go in the woods, go for a walk, maybe go to the gym. Self-care was the new priority. And once I made that, once I prioritized self-care, what do you know? A couple of days later, that drive started to come back. Desire to build started to come back. But I had to take some time off because you'll make a decision that will impact the rest of your life. If you're burnt out and you make a choice out of exhaustion, out of desperation to get that relief, to escape that pain because you're so tired, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it, telling you, and that's why I don't say to push through. Even the cats that I follow, David Goggins and Eric Thomas, like there's a price to pay at the end of that. And I've been on both sides, and every single time I just pushed through, I ended up paying that shit back energetically, right? But through being more tired, it ain't worth it. At least where I'm at in my stage of my life, bro, it ain't fucking worth it. Um, and but I will say this: there are seasons when you need to be resilient and keep going despite discomfort, right? But there's a difference between discomfort and genuine depletion. Big difference. Forcing yourself through burnout can create resentment toward the very dream you love. You'll find ways to get angry at the dream, at the business, sometimes at your followers. It's internal anger being projected externally. It's internal frustration being projected externally. That's how you know as well, because you won't give yourself what you need. You got to give yourself what you need right now, what your body requires of you right now. You'll get back onto it, bro. The work will be there. It'll be there waiting for you. But the health, the self-care should be your number one priority. Because if you don't, your dream can start feeling like a prison because you never permit yourself to be a human fucking being outside of it, right? And the way you pursue the dream should not destroy the person responsible for carrying it. Like, what kind of lifestyle do you want? Do you really want to work 20 hours a day? I mean, that's cool for some people, right? I've lived that life, and I burnt out and realized there's smarter. That's why I like the 4-hour work week. There's smarter ways to go about things. It's not just about working hard. And that's the thing, bro. My health, what the fuck's the point of me, making X amount of money or getting to X destination if my health is shit? That's just how I see it. And, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot on the body, and it catches up. Maybe it could be 5, 10, 15 years later. The body keeps score, man. It will catch up to you in one way or another. And I love this principle by Ryan Holiday. That's smooth. What's a quote? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I live by this. Slowing down intentionally can get you further than constantly rushing, crashing, and having to rebuild yourself. Hey, you know that cycle. You know that cycle. When you slow down, you actually speed up. That's how it's been for me every single time. You don't know how to really reset or chill out. I got you, bro. First thing you can do is create a no quitting window. Here's what I mean. Give yourself 48 to 72 hours in which you are not allowed to make any permanent decision about your dream. If you feel like giving up right now, just hold off, bro. It's 48 to 72 hours. You stop checking the numbers, the views, the sales. Stop comparing or anything that keeps you emotionally activated. Right? You aren't deciding to quit or continue. You're allowing your mind to become clear enough to make an honest decision. Give yourself the fucking space you need, right? It's right now, and if you're in a burnt out state and you make a choice to quit, bro, days from now, you're going to realize you made the wrong choice. So hold off, chill out, right? You'll get the inspiration back, right? Number 2, take care of the person carrying the dream. That's you, bro. Right? Get real sleep. Sleep is king. Every time I can take X amount of coffee, but nothing will give me the rejuvenation and the rest that I need, like sleep, right? Get sleep instead of trying to squeeze out more work. Eat properly, hydrate, go outside, move your body, and spend time away from screens, man. Easy way to reset. Go in the woods. You know how refreshed I feel after walking on a trail, being in nature. I feel amazing, man. I feel connected to myself again, even if it's for 15 minutes or going on a walk. It doesn't even have to be in nature. It's a really nice reset. Do something that you enjoy that produces no money, content, progress, or measurable outcome just for you. And that's one of the hardest things that I've had to integrate because I'll put having fun at the back, at the back end, right? Like what I'm sharing with you, bro, is hard learned experiences because I had to take those breaks. I had to recalibrate. I had to reset. And it's like, if you don't, you have to make time for it. Because if you're a freaking high achiever, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you're on go mode almost 24/7. And that's the thing. It's like, how do you not burn out the way you're going, right? You not burn out with all the coffee you drink, stimulants, and you're trying to produce and produce and produce. And it's all on your mind. You know, it's a gift and a curse, bro. It really is. But you got to create time to slow down, take care of yourself. Now, my mom, uh, she had crazy work ethic. Still does. She's in her late 50s, and she used to work freaking 12, 15-hour days as well, building up her stuff. And she ended up getting cancer. She was eating like shit. You know, you're outside, it's outside a lot. It's easier to get fast food. And she put her health last. And that's the thing, bro. Catches up. I remember visiting her in the hospital. The reason she fought to live was for us, me and my sisters. And it just, you learn a lot from that because your health really, as she tells me to this day, your health is everything. It has to be number one. But she had unfortunately had to go through all that to really get the lesson. And that years back, I fucked up my adrenal glands and I woke up, I was taking too many pre-workout scoops, right? Hard stimulants. And it was actually after a 3-day fast that I ended up getting adrenal fatigue or CNS burnout. And I was so angry at myself. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing to myself, but I was so angry because I did that shit to me. And just because I had to keep going, I had to keep producing. I was like 23, 24 at that age. I'm 33 now. But if you don't learn by example, you're going to learn by force. Yeah, guys, that's what I'm getting at, bro. Like do shit that you actually have that brings life into you, that brings energy into you instead of constantly being an output, right? Things that constantly require you to output energy. Self-care isn't a reward you earn after becoming successful. It is a part of the infrastructure required to become successful. The way you eat, the way you rest. I meditate every single day, bro. It helps me so much, right? And the last thing I want to share with you is recalibrate before returning. Ask yourself, what am I doing that is no longer necessary? What expectations am I placing on myself out of desperation? What can I simplify, postpone, or stop completely? What pace could I realistically sustain without destroying myself? It's one of my favorite questions. It's a marathon. Dude, I ran sprints my whole entrepreneur journey. And that was my mindset, bro. Like, it really is a marathon. Because if you want stamina in this shit, you got to be able to keep going, keep jogging, keep walking. And if you're trying to sprint your way through this, that's a fast way to burn out as well. I'm telling you, bro, slow it down. Don't sign yourself off because there's shit you got to prove to yourself, right? That you're not enough, that you're valuable, that you're something in this life. I get it, but it ain't worth signing yourself off into an early death because you you think you're a failure, you think you're X, Y, or Z. You'll get there. You'll get to the destination. But I guess you decide, right? Do you want to get there sick and tired, or you want to get there healthy and vibrant, guys, right? You have a chance if you're watching this. Another great question: do I need to quit the dream or change how I'm pursuing it? Sometimes you got to change your approach, but you got to know what doesn't work so you can change your approach. If what you're doing right now doesn't work, you got to change your approach. And that really means you got to change your perception about how you're viewing this. If it's working for you, cool, man. But if it's not, it might be time to change something, right? So I'll finish today's video with this. Don't come back from your break, right? If you're taking a break, you're slowing it down, you decided to take the advice in this video. Don't come back from your break and immediately try to compensate for lost time. You're not behind. You're going to figure it out. And that urgency, it tends to come from desperation because you're in survival mode, because you're making up the story that you're behind, that you're comparing yourself. You're where you need to be, right? Yeah, you keep showing up, keep doing the work. I'm not saying to be fucking lazy, but don't burn yourself out in the process. Do what you realistically can. For me, a couple hours a day, that's where I'm at now, right? Of really going in and having and doing focus work. I know when I need to stop. And when I do push a little, I'll make sure I give myself the necessary rest either later that day or the next day. But energetic debt is real. Sleep debt is fucking real. You pay it back, bro. So, you know what I mean? Once you come back from a break, I know you're excited. Again, even that's proof right there. You get the drive back after you take a break. You go on vacation. Why do you think you come back more exhilarated about what you're doing? But don't try to view it as you're trying to go hard to compensate for lost time. It's made up, bro. It's made up. Just choose one meaningful action that reconnects you with the dream. Let inspiration and momentum rebuild naturally. When something truly matters to you, the drive usually comes back once you have the capacity to feel it again. Just think about it this way. You come back, right? You take a break, whether it's a week. That's what I would say, at least a week. And now you become the person capable of carrying that stress again, of having the capability to have the energy to do what you got to do. And just remember this, bro. You can slow down without giving up. You can rest without losing your hunger. And you can take care of yourself without betraying your future. And before you decide that the dream isn't for you, give yourself permission to become whole again. Take the break, get some fucking sleep, step away from the pressure, and ask yourself what needs to change. Not only in your dream, but in the way you've been carrying it. And if you're ready to reconnect with the strength inside of you, I created a free audio training called True Power. It will help you stop allowing temporary circumstances and emotions to define who you are and reconnect with the power that already exists within you. You can listen to it through the first link in the description down below. Subscribe if you're building a dream through failure, exhaustion, and self-doubt. So this channel is for the entrepreneur who's trying to build this way. And remember, if you need to, but don't give up on yourself. All right? You may not need a different dream. You may just need rest. I'll see you in the next one.